All right, what's going on YouTube? All right, so if you can see back here, this is kind of like what we ended on, I guess about day 4 or 5. I apologize, I didn't get to show you as much as I would like to. Super busy. I was up till like 11 working on the forms. I didn't realize it was going to take me so long. And had I maybe had some of the tools like the skid steer and the compactor, I probably could have got it done earlier, but I was like in a rush. Concrete was supposed to be here like at 8:30. Ended up being here at getting here at 7 o'clock that morning. So I worked till 11 that night, and then I got up at 4:30. Came back out here, put a headlamp on, and got to work forming this up for the concrete. But anyway, this is like day 5 or 6. I can't really remember. Once again, I apologize for not recording, but let me show you what I got. Okay. Alrighty, here we go. So this is not the finished product. As far as like working the top of it and all that, I had them burn it. I didn't want a broom finish. Broom finishes are great, obviously, because they anti-slip, right? It gives you a little texture. But this can be inside of a shop, mainly just storage. I will do some like woodworking and all that in there. But I didn't really want it to be glass smooth, as you can tell, because I'm not staining it, but it's not a house. But I didn't want the texture, because with the texture and all that, if you get something on it, it's just a pain to get out of those grooves. At least what I think. But today what I'm going to do is go ahead, I'm going to cut the plastic off. I cannot pull the boards quite yet. He told me to wait about 48 hours to 72 hours. He said you'll actually start seeing a separation between the board and the concrete. It'll start pulling away. It looks like maybe it did here, but yeah. Concrete guy actually gave me a thumbs up. He said I did a great job forming it all up. He said it looked really good. I had my vapor barrier and all that down. There was one thing that I want to talk about with you, about the mistake I made. I don't want you to make. Okay, like I said, the mistake I made. These were great. These snapped in. You can see where they sit, 1 and 1.5 or 1.5 inches rebar. So it looks like the overall chair height's 2 5/8. The bar size is for number 4. I used number 3, fit right in. And the ground clearance is 1.5, which is perfect because I poured a 4-inch slab. And here's what those look like. So you get an idea. So the bottom rebar sits here. This goes here like a rebar tie. So like I said, those rebar tie, the chairs that I bought, they work great. It wasn't their fault. It was your user error. It was my fault. So when we went to go pour the slab, the rebars kind of moved around a little bit because those chairs weren't secured. It did look like they might have had slots in there, so you can kind of nail them down into place. If it was me and I was doing it again, I would use the chairs, but I would make sure that they're all tied off, if that makes sense. So with a rebar tie. So go ahead, spend the extra 10, 20 bucks, whatever it is. Get some more rebar ties, put the chairs in, tie them all off. The concrete guy, though, he really did compliment me on the chairs and how everything had everything laid out. All right, like I said, so I'm gonna come over here. I am actually just gonna cut the plastic around the slab. I can't remove the forms quite yet. It needs to heal a little bit more. That's all I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna let it dry, and then I gotta do some mowing around my yard, which I won't make you sit through. But I'll cut this off and I'll show you what it looks like after. It does such a good job keeping in the moisture. This is like wet, so it's definitely doing its job of keeping the moisture from going into the concrete. It's awesome. All right, get back to it. All right, I think I'm just gonna leave the little bit that is on there. I think it's like 5 or 6 inches around the perimeter. Leave it on there until I pull the boards. Once I pull the boards, I'll be able to get a little closer. It's just one of those things, being comfortable with what you're doing, making sure you're not messing up something that's worth thousands of dollars. Because I think all in all, just like a rough estimate, so about $3,700 for the concrete, roughly, something like that. And that's not counting like diesel I had to spend on my truck, gasoline I had to put back in for the the compactor before I took it back to Home Depot, and then obviously it doesn't count like man hours. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. I will see you next time. Thanks.